Hello, I'm Andrew, and
I'm
this.
Devin from Dazbrick here. Today we're going to be talking about how we started out with the first inception of this, well, I guess you could say business.
Yes, sir. Um, I don't know, for whatever dumb reason I was just looking at dumb stuff on YouTube, and then uh, I found this clutch guy from Bricks on the Dollar, and I got really thinking about, and I loved Lego as a kid. He still loves Lego, um, and I never thought about what a commodity it could be. Uh, it never doesn't deteriorate. It's easy to store. It's small, and the value only increases. So I started really thinking about that and got kind of excited and thought it was something that I'd really like to do. And what we wanted to kind of do is week, 2 weeks, whatever it is, kind of just our trials and tribulations of what we're going through to get this thing started. And we're real small. We just started 2, 3 weeks ago to a month, and kind of just if there's anything that we're doing that we're screwing up, or any anything you see we're doing wrong or anything we're doing right, please just let us know in the comments. Um, First thing I did is I went and got a business license. Not super exciting, but I thought it needed to be. It was probably just want to do all that for the tax purposes and all that mess. If I'm lucky enough, if you guys out there are kind enough to patronize our store, that would be great. So I can do that. They did say with the business license, you need to keep up with your sales, because the more you sell, the more your business license is going to cost to be renewed each time. So that's definitely something to consider. Um, and then I went to, I won't name the bank, but uh, the, uh, the bank that I normally use for my personal banking. I started a business account with them. They were real cool, and they also had this. You get a free $100 after you use the card 10 times. Um, they give you a free $100. So on my
That's pretty
first,
nice.
yeah, my
Yeah.
first Lego spree, I bought a whole bunch of minifig packs to get that, because our budget is really not there yet. So I bought a bunch of minifig packs to try to satiate that need for the 10 thing to get the free $100 that I could better spend. I'm gonna let Devin take over on the as far as going out, or my idea of, or kind of the failure of my idea to hit the thrift stores.
Yeah, when we first started, we hit pretty much about 12 thrift stores, not really counting them, but there was a lot that we went to, and about every single one did not have Legos besides maybe two or three, and what they did have was not that great. I'd say the one that we got the most from either had like about 8 or 10 pieces, and the other one, there were two stores. There was one that had a whole lot of Bionicle, and the other one had Duplo and normal Legos, but they weren't very great pieces. They were definitely used, and they for the price that we spent on them, they weren't that great either. So it was, and the time that we took to go through every single bin that was around there that we thought that was a toy section for each thrift store was really kind of frustrating, because you'd have to sit down, go through it all, but it wasn't that bad. And I mean, the pieces weren't great, but they weren't bad either for what we got. But yeah, we did. He had the idea to let's go get used pieces, but
Well, my thinking was, here in Alabama, it's you know kids might play with it. There's not really going to be your hardcore enthusiasts, your guys that do, what do you call them, mocks and,
yeah.
and big builds and stuff like that, that they wouldn't really, they'd be kind of wide open out here. Once the kid got done with the set, it would just sit in the basement, or it would sit in the, well, people in Alabama don't really have basements, but
Yeah.
sit in the kid's room, and parents would just be relieved to get rid of it. I even did a thing on Facebook. It's like a little buy sell trader thing that they have
Mhm.
on Facebook, and I sent out a thing, I'll turn your Lego into dollars, kind of thing, and I didn't get any kind of response at all. So it was kind of And then I'll let you talk about the what we went through with trying to find, because we didn't know that much about, the
Yeah.
lexicon or the vernacular that comes with Lego itself.
Yeah.
Terms like slope, plate, stud, things like that.
Yeah.
Trying to find those parts.
Yeah. When we finally, after we got the pieces and we brought them home and cleaned them, we had no booklets to look through to have the part number, and we would have to look online through a yeah. But we'd look online, and eventually we found, this site. I think it's called Pyron, something like
Piron.
Piron, something like that.
If you watch Clutch, he can tell you more about Piron and the nightmares about it.
Yeah, it's really
It's good, but it's not.
yeah, because like it was mainly the Bionicle pieces that we were looking for when we first found them, but we it took at least 2 hours to get through about 15 pieces.
Maybe a half a pound of Lego
Yeah,
to a pound.
It wasn't even that great, but it it was really a nightmare trying to go through it. But eventually we got to the point where we figured out, well, if we buy sets, then we get the booklets, and then the booklets have the part number, and instead of having to go through a whole website that's just a mess, and some of the sets don't even have all the pieces on it, because like people are always trying to renew it, but it's not a great service, but it helps with the some of the pieces that we were trying to look for.
And the Piron part numbers don't necessarily correspond to what they use on Bricklink.
Yeah, and that was also a mess trying to get that all.
I really wish Lego in their inception, I'm not trying to criticize Lego here, but I wish they'd have set it up where their numbers that they come up, their SKU numbers or UPC numbers that they associated with the particular part would have had the part number itself, and then the rest of the number would indicate the color.
Yeah.
That would have been a great way to do things, but that's, who am I to question a multi-billion-dollar company? But that would have been a lot simpler for everybody, or at least us people in the aftermarket business.
But eventually we got to the point where we could buy whole new sets, and the first thing that he bought was minifigure sets, right? And then
I bought the first two things. I bought a bunch of minifig packs, again to get to that 10 things. So I get to, and then I got this guy here. I don't know if the camera will pick it up. This is not super exciting. And then this Lego City. But I just bought one each, and I really am going to try not to do that. Ideally, I would like to buy 5 or more. Again, the budget is not what everybody else's budgets is that have been established in this. So I can maybe put that $300 towards some other stuff. I just don't really think it's a super great idea, because there's a lot of times, particularly with that Friends stuff, there's so many, just one piece of this, and they're little teeny tiny accessory pieces. Yeah. And you at least would have to have 3 to make it, useful for somebody. So again, I don't.
Because nobody's really just looking for one piece of the certain piece, and they're usually going for not just like, I just want these 2 pieces. Usually people are going for like 5, 10 pieces, and usually all of the same, but it's not that great just having one, and then it's like, oh yeah, you just get one.
So again, I don't recommend it, because I really like to be because Clutch says, you gotta be a variety store, or you've got to be a quantity store, and I would really like to go for quantity. So if you guys can help us get the sales going where we can build and build and build, I would like to buy 5 of a set, 10 of a set, 20 of a set if I could. If I could get them at the right price. Let's talk about the storage system. Also, we're on the budget. So I'd like to buy stack-ons like everybody else does, and just put one part, per lot.
Currently, we're using
we're using
boxes,
this system,
yeah.
which
It's really-
is 20 lots per box,
Yeah.
and then stack them until we can afford to buy stack-ons.
And we're actually in a mess right now because we got about 2 or 3 bins, well, not bins, but baskets, and we just piled them up with lots, and it's taken a while to get through them, but eventually we'll get to it.
That and I screwed up. I'm pretty sure on the Bricklink website you can part out the whole set as one thing, but I screwed up, and first of all, I screwed up, and when I parted out the Friends and the Lego City, I put it all in one thing, so it was all mixed, and I put the minifigs in there, and it was all mixed. So I had to do it. I had to part each, I had to enter it into the system each piece at a time, and it's been a nightmare, and I've had to drag him into that nightmare with me. So hopefully going forward, I'll figure out how to do the parting out the whole set at once, and then I guess you just go back and assign your lot numbers and adjust your price how you want to do it.
We eventually got to the point where we did have one 3 set. It was a Ninjago set.
This guy here,
Yeah,
we've got 3 of those.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about it.
Thankfully, we were lucky enough to get to that point after some trials, but yeah, I say we're starting to get to it.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah,
and don't
really.
call me Shirley.
Yeah.
I guess we'll get to the portion of the pieces that we're excited about this week.
Yeah.
Mine is, this came with a Ninjago set. It's not, we don't yet have it up on the Bricklink Store, but this guy here, and you can leave in the comments why you think I'm an idiot for liking this piece, or it's worth 2 cents or something like that, or I just really thought it was a cool piece. And we'll have that up on the Bricklink Store as soon as we can get to it.
I really like that one because it's got 2 different colors.
Yeah,
on it.
I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah. My piece personally is it's kind of a, it's its own little thing.
He-Man.
You can put it on a minifig head too, I think, because it's got a opening right here with a little stud holder, and it's got little hands here. But I'm really excited about this piece. I don't know if it's great or anything. I'm just
let us know
Yeah.
why we know what we're talking about or we don't. To you, we'd appreciate it. Also wanted to, and we'll put them as our friends when we set up the account. Bricks on the Dollar, definitely clutch, awesome guy. He really breaks it down how you do the start a Bricklink Store.
Really helped us on how to get to the point where we are right now, and hopefully to the point that we will get. Hopefully.
Yes, sir. And
Brickzar,
great guy. He's another Southern guy like us, or guys like us. And Beyond the Brick, I just love the show because it just shows these massive builds. They're just really impressive.
Yeah.
So, like or subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Really.
And visit
Bricklink, or
what's the name of the store?
Dazbricks. Yes.
DAZBRICK.
BRICK.